All right, boys, as the window just ended, career mode type ending to the deadline day. 25 moves today, I believe. There got to be some type of record, I thought we'd rank some clubs' transfer windows. I'm only going to be doing the big six. I don't want to be here for 3 hours talking about, Leeds and West Ham and all those teams. Honorable mentions to Sunderland had a decent window, a great window for a relegation squad. Everton had a really good window as well. And Newcastle, even though they were getting rejected, like the shorty who was trying to give it up to everybody, but nobody wanted it. Ended up getting Voldemort and Wissa. I like those 2 moves. And obviously made plenty of money by selling Isak. The first club we're going to get straight into is going to be Tottenham. Tottenham, now, are we doing this as their 17th, or are we doing this as their big six? It's my video where I'm asking you. Look, we're going to do it as if they're big six competing for the top 4, top 5, top 6. We're not doing it as 17th, because if a 17th place team really had this window, if this was, say, Sunderland finished 17th this year and then have this window next year, this is an S. Like, this is an all-time great window for a team that finishes that low. But I don't think they're really that bad of a team and their quality is that low. That being said, I'm going to give it a high B. Low A, high B. I think it's going to be a high B because I do think they needed to address I think they needed to sign a better keeper. Not a better keeper. Vicario is very good, but they needed to sign a backup keeper because Vicario do be getting injured quite a bit for a keeper. They did sign Danso, which I think is their smartest signing of the window. I really do. Because Van de Ven and Romero are not going to play 38 games each. They're definitely getting injured at some point this season, so they needed a backup centre-back. Could have even had another one, to be honest. 2 loan deals. Paulinho, good signing from Bayern. I mean, looks like he's going to be decent. Well, obviously didn't work out of Bayern. Could be something here. I don't know what the obligation to buy with that is. Kolomuani, not high on that. That's actually a bring it down. Especially considering Richarlison's actually had a decent start to the season. Netting himself a few. They got Dom Solanke, who was, 65 million last summer. And now Kolomuani as well. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have good depth there. But I actually don't even think I think Kolomuani's clearly number 3, even with Richarlison there. Matthias Tell has been made permanent. That deal has been made permanent. I think he's played 20 minutes this season after that permanent deal. So, a little bit of a failed one. The kid, not really, though. He's only 20. He's still got time to explode. Xavi Simons, though, stole it off Chelsea, I don't even know if they stole it. I think Chelsea do that. They do that little smoke screen. I'm interested in this person. Like they were interested, like we were interested in Olise, but then he chose Bayern and we went and got some bum Neto. Like, don't even get me started on Neto versus Olise. Like, Olise has become the 3rd best right wing in the world and Neto is work rate. So yeah, Xavi Simons, 65 million. I do think that fee is a little bit excessive. I think that's a little bit high. But I do think it's a high floor and a high ceiling. Like the ceiling could be very high. He could be a great, great player. I think worst case scenario, he's a good player. Like he is a good player. I think that's worse. I don't really think there's a risk to it. I think he's a good player or he's a great player. I don't think he's a bomb, he's a flop, he's bad. Never know. Especially with James Maddis being out though, that 10 role. I think this was a better move for him and the club than for him to come to Chelsea. I actually do think this is a better move for him. Lastly, we'll talk about Mohamed Kudus. I'm not that moved. I'll be honest. I wasn't impressed with him at West Ham. Completes 3 dribbles a game, the most in the Prem. Great. He gets dispossessed 3 times a game. So if you're dribbling, you've beaten the guy, and you're losing the ball just as much, it kind of balances out. Now, he's got 2 assists already against Burnley, and then nothing the last 2 games. But if he can get that G up a little bit, them dribbles actually turn into something, actually turn into goal involvements or shot creating actions or things like that. That's a good signing, but I don't see it really. But that was at West Ham, he was beating people in the middle of the park just to pass it back to the left back. Like, come on. But now he's beating left backs and putting balls into Richarlison, who's doing bicycle kicks. Fair enough. So yeah, I think high B. Next up, we'll go Arsenal. I think this could have had a conversation for being the best window if they had signed Rodrigo, like they were linked to. All the fans were saying, Rodrigo's coming. Kirk as Kiko Suarez was saying, 100%, 98% confirmed. Rodrigo is leaving and he's going to Arsenal. Blah, blah, blah. Didn't happen, brother. If that had happened, y'all might have had the best window. I might even had y'all over Liverpool. I'm lying. Where should we start with them? Obviously, bringing in Kepa, cool, 5 mil for backup, dashed. Norgard, decent backup, 11 mil, dashed. Mosquera, another centre back, bringing in, and Hincapie, another centre back. This brother Arteta is really adapting Pep's philosophy of playing all centre backs in the back four positions. Centre back at left back, centre back at right back, centre back across the whole back line. Fair enough, it's working out. Obviously, Calafiori, centre back. Tim, we won't go into that. You guys know they got all centre backs there, and they just added 2 more. Mosquera that can play right back, but is a centre back, and Hincapie, who's a centre back that can play left back. Fair enough. Next up, the weirdest move of the whole window, the most controversial move, the most highly anticipated, whatever, is Noni Madueke to Arsenal. I mean, hated by Chelsea fans, hated by Arsenal fans, just hated by football fans in general, whatever reason. 56 million, great business there, really, I think. I mean, a little bit high for a backup. Me personally, I feel like Noni is a number 2, he's not a number 1. If you signed him to be a left back, I didn't even put them in. I think this is an S. We'll say low S. We'll say lower tier S. Could be a high A, low. No, we'll call it a low S. No, we'll call it a high A. We'll call it a high A. I think Rodrigo makes it an S. Because what I'm gonna say is that left wing position. If Noni came in to play left, that's a terrible move. But if he came in to be a backup to Bukayo, and Bukayo like getting injured, Arteta like running his boys into the ground. Saliba, you feel a little tweak, you feel a little injury in the warm up, doesn't matter. Go play. Yo, at training, you feel a little something, doesn't matter. Go start. So hey, Arteta, that's just run the boys into the ground. Y'all need plenty of depth. So if Madueke is going to be a backup to Bukayo, I like the move. If he's going to be a left winger, it's not for me. Now the 3 big signings, it could be an S from these 3 alone, I think. Eze, great signing, obviously stole it off them boys. Tottenham, if Tottenham had got them, they might have been an A+ to an S. Eze, great signing, better than, probably their best player in my opinion now. Maybe Saliba or Gabriel or David Raya could be in the conversation. But attacking wise, I think it's definitely Eze. I think Eze, I'll probably give it to Eze as their best player. Max Diamond, number 2. So is Eze going to displace Odegaard? I know that's your team captain. So is Eze going to play off the left? I don't mind him off the left. He kind of plays that left 10 role in the Palace team he did. So I don't mind him off the left. I think I'm higher on him off the left than most people are. But yeah, in the 10, he's definitely your best player. Will he be able to displace Odegaard? I believe he should. I believe he is better, but that's the captain, so I don't know if it will happen. Victor Gyökeres, probably the best striker on the market behind Isak. Maybe looking like João Pedro could be the best as well. Not better than Isak, but better than Gyökeres. I know people laugh at me because I was talking about we should have got Gyökeres. Now, every day they come back to the video and comment, are you sure? Look, he scored again. Brother, if you read what I said I like João Pedro. Anyway, we won't get into that, but I said I like João Pedro. I just need him to keep it up. I'm expecting 20 goals from my striker this season. Whether it was Gyökeres, whether it's João Pedro, I'm expecting 20 goals. That's what I want. I didn't think João Pedro would be the guy to get me 20, but if he does, I don't care. I'll eat my words. I don't even know what words they are to eat. I said I like the guy. I just said, anyways, that doesn't matter. Gyökeres, I think that's a good signing. He's going to get goals. He's not a great technical player. He does shift to the left a little bit. Honestly, I could even see him playing off the left. Havertz is out now, but maybe a little Eze in the false 9, Odegaard false 9, Gyökeres off the left. Gyökeres makes his best runs when he's running down the left side, if you ever watched him at Sporting. When he's from the halfway in transition, going down the left. I mean, he scored his first goal, getting the ball on the left, coming inside and shooting. I think that's his best thing. And then Zubimendi for me, I think the Declan Rice Caicedo thing is going to get dashed to the side, and it's going to be Zubimendi versus Caicedo by the end of the season. I think Arsenal fans are going to say, wow, this Zubimendi guy is amazing. Sorry, Deckers, we're going to have to push this Zuba versus Moi Caicedo. Declan's going to be forgotten about. He's going to kind of sink in and just become a regular player. Not that his ability is a regular player. I'm going to say they're going to think of him like, hey, he's just another great player we have. But Zuba is really the man making that midfield tick, is what I think. I'll go high A, even though I'm really high on the last 3 guys I just spoke about. I just think that left wing position was not addressed. And if you had addressed that, even maybe not with a Rodrigo, Somebody a bit better than Eze off the left. I think that's an S. Next up, we'll go Manchester City. Do I think I'm gonna go behind Arsenal, but an A. A little bit quiet for City standards. I feel like they're always quite busy as well, under the radar, because there's another team that is always, that's been in the newspapers the last few years with their spending and buying. And I mean, to be fair, we've bought like 61 players, but we'll go James Trafford. I thought that was a great signing, exceptional signing. And then they went and got Donnarumma, who's, I said if they get Donnarumma and Rodrigo, they win the league. Donnarumma, best shot stopper in the world, I believe. Not as great with his feet, which is weird for Pep. You would think Pep would want somebody like Edison, who's great with his feet, not a great shot stopper. But I guess he's realized the most important thing is shot stopping, not letting goals in, not about playing out with your feet. Even though James Trafford costed him a goal by being terrible with his feet. Yeah, I like the Donnarumma signing a lot. I mean, no matter where he went, that's a great signing for anybody that gets him. Getting the best shot stopper in the world last year, that's a great signing for anybody. Another great value pickup is Ryan Cherki, in my opinion. 35 million for the brother. I mean, some would say he's more talented than Mbappe. I'm not one of those people, but some would say that. 35 million, can play in the 10, can play off the right, could even play off the left. Didn't lose Savinho as well. Savinho link up Oscar Bob on the right. Very strong attack already. I don't think they really needed to touch it. So I think Ryan Cherki is the perfect little addition just to add a little bit to it. Another position they needed to address, I believe, was the center-back position. They didn't address it, and the right-back position didn't address that either. That's why they're not an S. But they did address the center-back kind of. By buying Aït-Nouri at the left-back, they've moved Vardio back to center-back. Makes sense, right? Should happen. Technically, they have addressed it by moving their center-back back to center-back because they bought a left-back who can actually play left-back now. And a left-back, I think, is very good as well. So I think that is an upgrade. Obviously, out injured as well. Right-back was the only question mark. And then they lost Kevin De Bruyne, one of the greatest ever, and replaced him with Reinders. Tijani Reinders, man. That brother is crazy. I mean, he's already got some GA. I don't know if the GA will be if he'll be stuffing up the stat sheet, as they say, but the performances will be there. Him and Rodri link up, that's going to be nasty, I'll be honest. That midfield might win them games alone. Forget the defense. They might not. It might be 95% possession of 5. You got to score in that 5%. And you got to score with that 5% because you're going to get 3 touches a game. You got to score in those 3 touches. Otherwise, the game's going to be over. So, yeah, I think low A. Middle A. Middle A is pretty good for them. Next up, we have Manchester United. Let's have a look. This one I'm going to be pretty harsh on, I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of it. Now, if we're talking about them as 15th place, this is probably an A+ to an S. I think this is a C tier, though. Let me say why. Hold on, United fans. Relax. We can all admit. Mbeumo, Cunha, Šeško, good signings. Great signings. Maybe Šeško is a little bit questionable. He's like will it work, will it not? Mbeumo, Cunha, Prem-proven players. I don't believe in Prem-proven, because you can buy on the reason not Prem-proven when he came, looked at as the greatest Prem player of all time. Kevin De Bruyne didn't really have a great time in the Prem, went out, came back, probably my greatest player of all time in the Prem. So Prem-proven, that's a whatever. Mbeumo, though, 20 goals last year. Cunha, what did he have? 17, something like that. 2 great additions. And then bringing in the goalkeeper as well. Obviously, I don't know if it's an upgrade, but anything's an upgrade on the 2 you have. I think the biggest thing with you guys is Amaron's system is so reliant on midfielders and defenders, and they weren't addressed. That midfield is so weak. Bruno is not an 8. He's going to keep playing as an 8. Mainu's solid, but he's not even getting minutes. That midfield is absolutely terrible. And I'm very low on your defense. I'm very low. Like, Euro is good. The Lit's okay. Nothing else. So you can't have 1 good centre-back, 1 okay centre-back. We'll call the Lit good. 2 good centre-backs and play 3 centre-backs. You can't play 3 centre-backs and only have 2 good centre-backs at your whole club. Even the backups aren't that good. Harry Maguire is just a solid piece. I actually thought he would be revived under Amaron. I thought it would work very well, but it's been okay. He's been playing more as a 9 anyway. Mount's been playing a 9. Yeah, I just think outside of Mbeumo and Cunha, bad window. I mean, upgraded the keeper. So, yeah, just bad window. Didn't address what you guys needed to address. I would be pissed if I was you guys. Next up, a club, Chelsea, my club, the mighty Chelsea, the mighty Blues of the Chelsea. I think I'll go low B. Now, I do think our window is probably better than Tottenham's and Man United's, but really, it's probably could be a low C as well, because we're not in their situation, though. We didn't finish 15th, 17th last year. We finished 4th, right? And we were in the title race, even though people don't want to say it. We were 1 point behind Liverpool in December, early January. We should have finished comfy top 4. We nearly finished 7th in the last day of the season. If Levi Cole didn't work some magic and score off a corner, off some bullshit, Neto's shot that missed, Cole scores it, we finished 7th. And then we're not in Champions League and we didn't make any progress from the last season. What I wanted to see from my club is go from here, fighting for top 4, to fighting for the Prem. Honestly, I think we're ready to take the lead. I think there was position. I don't want to go too deep into it. I don't want to make this video forever, so let's go quickly. Goalkeeper, centre back, left wing, striker. 4 positions we needed to address. Right back good, left back good, midfield perfect. Right wing we got Esteval. Other than that, I don't mind Neto being a backup. He's not very good in my eyes, but 60 mil for a backup is crazy. Striker, we needed an upgrade. And left wing, but 10 we're good. Goalkeeper, Sanchez is fine, but he's not a Prem winning keeper, I don't believe. Maybe we could do something this year and sneak it. He's just a gateway for Penders next year, I believe. Well, I'm hoping Penders comes in next year, displaces him. So I actually don't mind us not buying a keeper. The centre-back position, we needed one. We did. As much as I love Trev, my boy, proper Chelsea, more Chelsea than anybody watching this video, more Chelsea than maybe anybody that's ever played for the club, because nobody would ever get disrespected like that, come back without a question and just put it in, put the shift in. Honestly, I don't even know if JT would go through that. JT is the most, or even Frank. If they got treated like that, I don't even think they would be like, put it to the side because they love Chelsea that much. I don't know. That early in their career anyway. So, and then Levi went out. We needed that center back though, because we needed a Bastoni, like a top 5 center back in the world. We needed one. We needed one to really take us to the next level. We're at the point where no more is buying projects, buy ceiling raises, buy the best 5 in the world. You know, not the best 5, but somebody in the top 5. Buy a top 5 left winger, buy a top 5 striker, buy a top 5 center back. We want to move on from Cucurella. Cucurella's top 3 in the world, in my opinion. Buy another top 3. If you want to move on from Cucu, the only upgrade is Nuno Mensch. Go buy Mensch. Go buy Balde. Go buy those players that are going to be moving the needle. You know what I mean? I just don't think we did that. João Pedro, obviously, our striker was a stinker last year. We won't even speak about him. João Pedro, big upgrade. Santos and Esteval don't count. They don't count. Hato, you know how I feel about him, generational player. Going to be generational, but he's a backup right now. He doesn't go straight into the starting lineup. So really, outside of João Pedro and Hato, I'm not moved by this window at all. Gittins, Garnacho. Brother, we don't even know who the starter is for the left wing. We got Pedro Neto playing out of position over there. We got Pedro Neto playing out of position on the left wing because we're buying Gittins who needs time. We're buying Garnacho who needs time. Garnacho is going to come in and be a noni. He's going to be active, shooting. Anyways, I'm trying to cut it down. I don't want this video to be too long. B, if you want me to go deeper into this, Chelsea fans, go. I can. But I just think it's time we go from, hey, we're fighting for 4th place. We're probably comfy 4 right now. And going, all right, we're fighting for 4th place. Boom. Now we're competing with Liverpool. That's what we need to do. We need to buy those players. Like, bro, I said it yesterday in the Isak video. We bought 4 players for 210 million. I would swap all 4 of them for Isak. 210 million euros. Isak was 176. I would swap all 4 of them for one Isak. I would swap them for Rodrigo. I would swap them for Bastoni. I would swap them for. I'd rather us buy 1 player for 200 million than 10 players for 20 million apiece. Honestly, I would rather us go get a Bastoni, a Rodrigo, a Isak, a Donnarumma. Donnarumma was cheap as well. But like Bastoni, Isak, or Rodrigo for 150 million, our whole budget on 1 player who's going to make us go from here to here, rather than 20 players who are going to be backups to our, they're not even going to make the starting lineup. We're going to take us from here to here. Now let's talk about the greatest window ever. And Liverpool. I mean, I spoke about it yesterday with the Isak deal, but we'll speak about it a little bit more in depth today. Just a little bit, not much. I was just arguing with somebody earlier. They were trying to compare our window to Liverpool's. Said, well, they brought in Kirkes. He can't compete with Cuckoo. They brought in Frimpong. He can't compete with Reece. And I said, bro, it's not about that. It's about they had positions they needed to address. Left back, right back after Trent leaving. 10 left wing striker. Right? We can admit they would have positioned. Maybe you could say 6. Gravenberch is good enough in the 6, in my opinion. I don't think so, but if you want to add that, sure. Those positions, what they do? They went and upgraded at the left back position. Trent's gone, so Conor Bradley's the right back. So they went and upgraded on Conor Bradley at the right back position. They went and upgraded on Szoboszlai in the 10 position. They upgraded in the 9 position. And then they upgraded again in the 9 position in the same window. And if Ekitike goes to the left wing now, they upgraded in the left wing position as well. So in my eyes, they upgraded in every position they needed to. And that's why their window is so much better than ours. Not because Kirkes is not as good as Cuckoo. Not because Reece James is better than Frimpong. Not because Cole Palmer is better than Wirtz, even though that's probably debatable. They're both top 3 in the world in that position, no matter how you have it. Jude, Cole, Wirtz. Jude, Cole, Wirtz. Cole, Wirtz, Jude. Wirtz, Cole, Jude. However you got the mix, that's the 3. So that's my point. They have the greatest window ever because they've looked at it. No, they haven't had the greatest window ever. Madrid still got the greatest window ever. R9, Xabi Alonso, Benzema, Kaká. That's the greatest window ever. This could potentially be aging like that, though. Yeah, ours could age like that. Anybody's could age like that. But yeah, we'll talk about it. They had positions they needed, and everybody knew this is their weaknesses, and they've gone boom, 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 boom. Now it's their strengths. Now people are saying the centre back, VVD's too old. Konate hasn't had a good start. This, that. And not only that, I'm not counting Mamardashvili because I had him and he was on loan. Mamardashvili is going to be better than Alisson. I said it in my prediction video. If Alisson gets injured, Mamardashvili will come in. He won't leave. He's that good. Mamardashvili is going to be the best keeper in the world for the next 10 years. They just went from the second best keeper of a generation to probably the best keeper of a generation. And then they broke the record with Wirtz, who's starting off slow, not doing great. But obviously we're going to kill him for that because they killed us for Moi Caicedo. And Enzo, they killed us for all our record signings. So we're going to kill y'all for Wirtz starting off slow. If you're 125 million, you got to start on the first day. That ain't no, hey, man, give him some time. He got to be on it straight away. Isak, he's going to be on it straight away, let's be honest. Isak's not going to need no time. This is why I think their window is so good. Because we looked at their weaknesses and said, these are your weaknesses. And they've gone, cool, now they're our strengths. Now their striker is probably the best position in their whole team. I think he's better than Mo Salah. I think he's better than VVD. You know, Frimpong, not an upgrade on Trent, but an upgrade on Conor Bradley. Kirkes Robertson was falling off, upgrade. Szoboszlai's ass. Looks amazing at right back, though. Wirtz, upgrade. Gakpo is cool, but if Ekitike goes out to left wing, I prefer Ekitike over Gakpo. So, yeah. And then Mark Guehi was about to come. Lucky that fell through. Otherwise, what the... Like, Leone's there. 35 mil. A little bit overpay for that. If Guehi had gone as well, I think the league is already done. That would have really sealed it. But, yeah, boys. All right. Hope y'all appreciate it, man. Hope y'all appreciate it. Yeah, hope y'all appreciate my takes. Leave your takes in the comments. And I do appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching if you guys did. Hopefully you guys are watching it to the end, the 1%ers. Love y'all. And yeah, hopefully y'all enjoy and up to Chelsea.